We're recording, right?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Telephone Tuesdays. Play the intro.
Yeah, so today on Telephone Tuesdays, we're going to talk. Mitch said it would be a good idea if we talked about all of the things we haven't done yet and the jobs that are overlying, because you know that there's a lot of them. In fact, I have to admit, for the last couple of months, we haven't actually got much done.
I don't know about that. The main job has been getting these line finders working so we can actually get like more than one telephone call going through each one of these racks, which is a big deal because we've got all the telephones plugged in around the museum.
What, is there about four? No, there's four on those, and then there's three on these that we've got going. And then there's the ones that are like down here, the ones that need a little bit of love and care and attention. So line finders.
Yeah,
if anybody wants to pop over and have a fiddle, if you know if you're pretty sure and you've had a track record, you know, of getting line finders going, then please hit us up. So that's the line finders. So we're going through the jobs, aren't we?
Yeah.
We haven't actually wired in all of the lines yet. This is number 4, so when you dial number 4, it goes over to these switches.
Yeah, so we got, what is this, 5?
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Right?
4,
so,
5,
yeah.
6.
So if you dial a 4, you'll be able to connect to all the telephones that are connected to this rack, right? 5 to this one, 6 to this one.
5.
Let's test it.
6. Hey! And then 4. Nah.
This one is going over the other side, right, all the way to the Megadrone. Is that right?
Yeah. So none of the phones. That's why we haven't bothered with this yet, because there's no phones to call on it.
Because this one is going to be the one that's wired into the internet, right?
No, internet. No? Because UAX13 racks. These are rack A's. They're basically the line finders correlate to the first 8 group selectors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you've got 2 group selectors at the end, which are for inbound calls. And we're going to wire the internet phone number that you call in from the internet into these ones. So I'm thinking these, because there's 4 of them. So these 2, so these 8. These 4 will be wired to the internet. And that's another job that we've got overhanging, because I've bought all the parts, just too many jobs. So we've got these, what are these called again? These are really handy, and we're going to write the model number right here. And these are really good for interfacing Arduinos, Raspberry Pis and things with the phone line, because you basically send these digital pulses. It can receive audio from the phone lines, and it will receive the bell pulse and turn that into a digital high or low. And yeah, it just stops you from burning things out. What next have we got to do?
Today I was going to get the diverticals plumbed in. So they did what they say, they're divertical. So you call them and it plays you a little message to say, hello, this number's getting connected to somewhere else or whatever, and then calls someone else.
Hey!
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, here we go. So pop that up against your thingamagoop.
Oh.
Just a moment, please. Your call is being diverted at no extra cost to you.
So
Anyway.
there's 8 of those. There's 8 of those in total. We've got various different messages, including one from a sewage works. It's like, you are being diverted from the sewage works, is it, or something like that. So we're going to pop these in. The plan would be is to wire these all in and then have different audio, maybe different, basically treat them as tape loops. So
we did
different music.
Yeah,
maybe.
we did talk about it would be fun if you could have this one diverting to this one, diverting to this one, diverting to this one. But then, you know, you'd have to run it through the line finders and stuff, so you'd take up all the capacity of the telephone exchange quite quickly. So maybe not do that.
So you call this. If you haven't seen these already, I've done a video already on the museum channel of these. There's a link below. But yeah, well, you call this one, and then the idea that this ends up picking it up and then going back to the line finders again, calling a phone call, going in there. But it ends up using every single switch nearly to just fill these up. But I think it'll be good. So we're going to make one of them as it's supposed to be. Yeah. And the other ones are just going to, you call it up and it'll play somebody's music. Maybe we make a tape loop.
Yeah. And there's a robot voice that you can get out of them as well, right?
Yeah, there is a robot voice. There's all the documentation here. It's been a while since I've read it. So this is the maintenance notes for the call forwarding unit number 1A. And this is all the information in here. But there is literally a robot voice in there. And I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's in the other video. So check it out. But yeah, ever since we've moved it here, we haven't wired these back in. After that, we've got to go down to these bad boys.
Yeah, yeah. They're even cooler, aren't they? These
so
tape loops, the announcers. Yeah, so you'd call this one up, and you see that tape loop wiggling around there. That all goes through and gives you an announcement. And they used to put all sorts of stuff on these, right? They used to put the cricket scores on. Was dialer disc these ones?
Yeah.
I think dialer disc was in this, so you'd dial up and you'd hear like the number one single at the time. All sorts of stuff they put on these. Yeah, so pretty cool. The space echo and stuff. You know, delays for guitars and stuff. Very similar technology, isn't it?
I was trying to find the health and safety documentation in all the folders over there, but just earlier found the maintenance notes for the Announcer 9A, Equipment Announcer 9A, and I haven't read through it yet, but you can see there's actually a drawing somewhere. It's actually how to clean the tape heads.
Oh, cool.
There's a drawing of the top showing what it is, so you will notice that. So that this is where the tape loop sits inside of it. They don't require the P-wire, they just require a line.
Yeah.
So the line goes
Same
straight
with
in.
these actually. The blue ones, the blue face
ones.
ones, don't require a P-wire either, which makes them simpler.
So that's the 1505.
So from your telephone here, right, that's got a plus and a minus, right? 2 wires go into it. But when it reaches the exchange, it gets a third wire added to it. And the third wire is the one that tells all the exchange stuff to do stuff, right? So that's only within the exchange.
Is it private wire?
Private wire, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it stands
Yeah.
for, sure.
So can I explain it better than that? Probably. But
This is conversational, we're having fun with telephones. So the P-wire is something that ultimately makes the whole thing more complicated because you need 3 wires going to certain things. And this Divertical, the 1504, this is an older one, requires the P-wire as well as the plus and minus, the phone line. But then the 1505 only requires the plus and minus. But we've plugged in the P-wire anyway. But then this one we got from Mike. Was it this one from Mike? I think I got this from Mike. Oh, this one. Oh, look at this. How cool is that? It's an EEPROM. So the tape has been removed and like a little flash card has been put in place, but still yet to find a blooming flash card.
Oh, yeah.
That's on the to-do list.
we really haven't got to these. So
Okay, so I did
these
a little
are
bit.
print check meters, right?
Yeah, so I did a little bit of looking into these, and what these are basically when somebody's complaining that they think they're being charged wrong for the phone, these get plugged into their lines and being left to see whether it's them using it more than they think or it's something else malfunctioning on their phone line.
Yeah.
So it kind of inspects the phone line for a while, and I've been trying to get these working. Initially, I had them plugged in, and I'll send you some videos for that right now. But it shows that it doesn't fully work, and the reason is these things right here are the actual control boxes for them. We've got three of the control boxes for 3 of the PMCs, and the problem is they're at an age where they've actually got transistors in these boxes. There's certain transistors for the line driver circuit, and it means that it's not fully working, and I've just haven't got around to doing it. But we've got 3 and they all have the same problem, so it seems that every single one seems to the same problem seems to happen.
Cool.
So it's like a known issue.
And it's another job to be getting the actual meters. So this is the dial, the meters here that tell you how many minutes you've, or whatever, how long you've been speaking. So they know how much to charge you. We got to get all those ticking along, haven't we?
God,
so that's another one.
That's gonna never end.
That kind of stuff is like the less sexy kind of side of stuff,
I
right? But
don't
it's still cool. It wants, because these are all electromechanical as well. If I get the mic close enough, you can hear it going. You know, they make all that sound.
Oh
as
no!
they're going along. So
Wendy's going to end up paying
Yeah,
alone
exactly.
now. You just flicked her
oh
off.
no, she's going to complain. We're going to have to get these hooked up to check how much she's spent.
I swear somebody's flicking it more. But how these work is basically there's a pulse that comes into the telephone exchange from around the place. It's via like a modulated signal that gets demodulated to go into the exchange. And what that pulse is it's a multi-phase pulse. So throughout the day, this pulse can change frequency and speed depending if it's in an expensive time to be on the phone or not. And these are, what are they called? I've forgotten my brain's gone. This is the local call timer. I had to search up what LCT stood for because I completely forgot. But it makes sense. But basically this receives the pulse into the exchange. And then it's annoying because I was trying to understand from the schematic where this actually intersects the circuit.
Right.
So there's 4 circuits in each of these relay cans, and we've actually got 5 of them. So that means we can wire them up to, I think, some reason, somebody mentioned that you wire these into, you need them wired into group selectors, but it doesn't particularly make sense. I think these intersect into the final selectors, the final selector lines. So, because it's a local call timer, so it's timing the local call meters. So I've been looking at the schematic, and it seems to make sense that these plug into the final selectors to tell when it's got to a final selector and there's been a successful call made. It makes a loop back, and then this pulses. These relays are really interesting.
The
by
ratchet
the way.
relays are cool, aren't they?
Instead of just turning on and off, you send a pulse to it. It's like a mini uni selector. It can flick over, and it takes 10 pulses for this to actually turn on a switch. So it's like a cam on it. Really interesting.
Can you actuate this one?
There's
the
there
armature.
is one. Can you actuate them?
Yeah.
How hard are they to actuate?
Somewhere in there.
Where's the actuator again?
Yeah.
It's right at the bottom. But
Yeah,
yeah, local call timer. Then we can start charging the visitors for their time on the phone. But until then, we're just going to have to, not. But I have a feeling, I'm being pessimistic, but because of how unuseful this stuff is, I don't think this is ever going to get wired in. But
I don't know.
we'll see. And then we carry on up here. This is here because I'm not sure. Initially, the plan with this was one of them was actually going to wire into this board, which is basically a 10 by 10, actually it's 11 by 10 grid of lamp sockets. The idea is you call up a lamp, it latches on, and you're able to dial a number. But it seems like quite a frustrating way of dialing a number, but that's why it hasn't been built yet. But that's what these relay boxes are for. So for every single lamp, there's going to be a single relay. Each of these relay boxes hold 20 relays. None of them are wired in yet, but that's a project. I really want to get it done because there's another idea for this. And I told you about it, didn't I?
Yeah, we were talking about it down the pub.
It's a really cool
because that's what
idea.
we do down the pub.
So,
Cool
in my pocket is an unfinished project. Have a look at that. It's upside down, I think. Is it upside down? I can't remember which way around it is. Why is it?
What is it?
Yeah.
So you take a stylus, and if you want to do an 8, you go like that, and it like latches it in relays, right?
Yeah. So a Bell Labs prototype. The Connections Museum has the prototype, and this is where I saw it, and I was like, I want that. So I designed this little PCB to make it. And basically, in the back of this machine, there's 7 relays that latch on, and it can figure out what number you're drawing onto it. The issue is I've been trying to figure out the schematic of how these 7 relays interact to this, and it's not immediately obvious. So if anybody has a schematic or wants to bug the Connections Museum to send more close-up images of this machine, then please do get in touch. But we talk about this because this got me thinking. What about, instead of having to dial each of these, we make a 100 by 100 grid, like a really simple graphical tablet, which works in the same way, that ends up latching the relays, which ends up turning them on. So you can, imagine this is 100 by 100, and you draw a little picture. I think that would be a cool way of doing it.
It'd be really cool, yeah. But nothing's ever that simple, is it? And we were talking about how much current it will take to have, all of these lamps on at the same time.
It's going to be mad. And trying to find LED variants of these with their, I can't remember off the top of my head what light fitting that is. The bayonet, it's like B4 or something. I don't know what it is. But trying to find LED variants of that are not mains, because these are 50 volts.
Right.
I was kind of half tempted to modify mains ones. I'm not sure, but if anybody's got any ideas for 50 volt low voltage, 50 volt low current lighting solution for this drawing machine, because the other issue after that is the delete circuit. So the idea is how do you cancel the image that you draw? So all of these relays that are in here are actually latched on. They're staying energized, and in order to turn them off, you have to break that have to break that kind of circuit. So the idea would be one high current relay that basically turns off all of the other relays, and they all just kind of flick off. But that's a lot of current just to do it. It's got to be quite chunky, but it needs to be built, and it's definitely maybe February. I'm going to say this because I feel actually accountable now.
There you go. There you go. You heard it here first.
But I didn't say what year.
Yeah.
So there's that. But not
gonna
sure
be so
what to do with these because...
Do you know, Cliff had a suggestion today
did he?
with using one of these as putting a final selector here and using that to do the diverticals in sequence, so we don't have to go through the line circuits. But
you'd still need a line circuit.
so just do a
switches.
two digit number. So just on a final selector.
Oh, so you're not calling this to call that to call that to call that because you won't be able to do that with just a final selector.
But if you call,
You need a final selector between each of them and a line circuit.
no, you're right.
So you'd need
You're
one.
right. Oh yeah, of course.
So
Yeah.
but it doesn't need to be a final selector. It could be these group selectors. We've got 5 group selectors,
There you go.
and it only just calls one number.
One number. Yep.
Oh, but then it doesn't send the AC pulse, so it needs to be final selectors. So we need to find 1, 2, 3, 4. We could find 5 final selectors, and then they would all wire in, and then we could call. Yeah, but then we'd need to make line relays
Yeah.
as well. Well, if
And,
you
and if that's a good use of 5 groups, I don't know, but
maybe.
we'll see.
I mean, it's there's only an idea for one of them,
Yeah.
so maybe I've got a couple of final selectors in this free gang configuration. So, but we've also got these. This is another set.
All right, there's another set. Yeah.
So we could use it. I've
That's the
probably
thing.
got enough.
If there's a space, you've got to find a use for it.
Yeah.
So then you're like, what
Okay,
can I do
maybe
with
these
this?
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So, and you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
All right.
I think it's this one. Oh no, that's a delay. That's the delay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a 6-minute delay. So it receives 6-second pulse
Yeah, yeah.
and does it. Maths quick. 6 times. Is it 10? No, that's a minute.
That'd be 60. Yeah.
No, 25. 24. 24. 24 times 6 is 6 minutes. 24 times 6 seconds.
Comment below.
25 times 6 seconds is 6. Oh, my maths is horrid.
We're not good at math, are we?
Yeah, not mathematicians. I think it's one of these. So you're going to like it. One of them's basically they're line circuits. So
Right,
these
okay.
could be the line circuits for the diverticals.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's funny because Johnny's not into this telephone stuff, and I just saw him yawn. But anyway, we're blabbing. Recap everything. We need to do everything.
Yeah.
We need to clean up. If you look up there, we need to clean up the wiring that's going up over to there. We're not accountable. We need to wire these bad boys in.
Yes.
So
the
we
lamps.
need to figure out what alarms
The
to
lamps.
set. So I reckon fuse alarm, maybe the alarm that goes. What is it?
Right, the non-releasing thing.
Non-releasing
whatever
alarm
it's
and
called.
then-
Yeah.
Power.
Power.
So we'll get some nice lanterns, or maybe
Lovely.
we'll just make them flash in sequence.
Yeah, that could be cool as well.
Because like what I did with the clocks
Or
up
maybe-
here.
yeah.
So I basically just was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wire the second pulses from the clocks up to some lamps over here.
Maybe if you successfully complete Snake on this,
yeah.
then you
Yeah,
get
it goes
rewarded with the lamps.
Oh,
There
that's
we
a
go.
very good idea. Anyway, we're going around the back. Let's
Let's go around the back because
Oh, no,
there's loads more stuff
Is
there.
there stuff that we need to do with the ringing
With the
machine?
ringing machine.
You need your head torch, Mitch.
Oh, yeah, it's getting dark. So
Oh yeah,
Mitchy Boy's been using his head torch.
Yeah, do you know what? It's actually really, really useful. You need to see in there, you know, what's going on. And you're like, well, hey, there you go. Look at that. Everyone's thinking, this guy's fucking cool. Okay.
Oh, it's dark back here. You're going to have to plug in your thingamajig.
Well, I don't want to plug in too much light because otherwise
Oh,
everyone's
that's
going to
all
seem
right.
a terrible cable racing.
Oh, yeah, there we go. You'll see here we've been testing the diverticals just with alligator clips, crocodile clips for now.
Surely, American people comment below, but surely crocodile clips, right? The alliteration, right?
So, yeah, we've even gone colour coding. So this is jumper wire. It's three cables. There's a green cable, a red cable and a white cable. If I'm honest, because I'm not a telephone engineer, I've kind of guessed that the P... Oh, no, I've ruined it. The green one is the colour of P, so that's the P wire. The red wire, you're always in the red, so that's negative. And the white wire is positive because it's like you're over 0. You know, maybe that's the way... So what these do is they wire up as jumpers to various things. So, for instance, there's a green crocodile clip, a red crocodile clip and a white crocodile clip matching this. And these are wiring up to the back of the divertical right now. So we've got the P wire, which we don't need now. We found out with the 1504 divertical, and then now that is calling. So and then what have we got? There's another 2 crocodile.
So that's the that's outgoing. So that's calling, diverting to another number.
Oh yeah.
assuming.
So that's going over to another. This whole thing down here is for all of the line finders. So when you want to get a new phone, you've got 50. Oh, you've got a different. Is it 50? You can wire up 50 different phone lines, or is it 100? Can't remember. You tend to use 50 of them between level 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Oh no, 7 and 8 are shared for some reason. Look at that. There's a chunk. Level 9 is for payphones, I want to say. Or is level 0 for payphones?
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
There's a lot to learn, a lot of detail and stuff. Yeah.
We're just idiots with a soldering iron.
Yeah.
But with a
We're
passion
getting
for
there.
history.
We're getting there.
Passion for history and technology.